Welcome to another RSR. Today we are reviewing Iran 0, USA, United States 1, 0-1, World Cup Group B, Match 3. USA had to win or go home, and in the end they won. They damn near shot themselves in the foot. Berhalter damn near shot them in the foot, let's put it like that. But in spite of Greg Berhalter's horrible substitutions, horrible game plan, and pretty much doing the same exact thing they did against Wales, they found a way to hold on. They found a way to win the game. They got the 5 points. They're through second. And luckily for them, they didn't get embarrassed by a late goal that knocked them out of the World Cup. Should Berhalter stay as the U.S. coach at the end of this cycle? I don't think so. We'll get into it. But first off, goal was scored as follows in the first half. Christian Pulisic in the 39th minute. Ball crossed in by Serginho Dest. Pulisic puts his foot out, redirects it into the net past Berenvond, and then he collides into him. And that pretty much ends his day. He gets subbed off at the half, but he does score the goal. He puts the team on his back. The Wonder Kid, Captain America, finds his way, puts the U.S. on his back, finally, and gets the goal. 1-0, 0-1, 0-1, USA. They are through to halftime with that scoreline of 0-1, 0-1. And that's also what would happen at halftime. Or full time is the ending score, 1-0, 0-1 USA, but it definitely didn't come without pain, suffering, torture, and anything along those lines. Because Greg Berhalter basically said, all right, let's sit back. Let's defend this. As they started off the second half a little bit like how they started the first half, but as the half went on, exactly like the Wales game, they sat back trying to hold this lead, this 1-goal lead that would put them on to the next round of the World Cup, the knockout stage. And Iran took advantage of that. From a 65-35, absolutely dominant possession split towards the USA at the end of the first half, the possession ends up being 51-49 for the USA. Does that show you exactly what happened in the second half? I think it does. It shows you how much the ball was on Iran's feet, was on their feet, on their time, looking for a goal to push through, to at least get that one goal to go through instead of the USA. And the USA just let them do it. The USA legitimately sat back and said, try to score. When the only reason the U.S. were so dominant against Iran in the first half is because Iran didn't have a sniff at goal. They didn't even have a chance. Then they gave them the chance. And it got pretty hairy there for a while. And the substitutions Berhalter put out were absolutely crap. The freaking Walker Zimmerman sub? That was stupid. The Shaq Moore sub? I don't think that was needed. I think it should have been Luca De La Torre for Tyler Adams. Haji Wright wasn't too bad. Aronson was an okay sub, but those last two subs right at the end there. Nah. Stats are as follows. 4 shots to 12. 1 shot on goal to 5. 49% possession to 51% possession. 465 passes to 474 passes. 77% pass accuracy to 84% pass accuracy. 14 fouls to 10. 2 offside to 1. 3 yellow cards to 1. 0 red cards to 0. 1 corner to 5. And the final group standings are as follows for Group B. England in first with 7 points. They advance. United States in second with 5 points. They advance. Iran in third place with 3 points. They are eliminated. And Wales in fourth with 1 point. They are eliminated. Which means England will play Senegal in the round of 16. And U.S. will play the Netherlands, which I think they can win if they play offensively the whole game. If they do what they did against Wales and Iran, they're not going to win. If they play like they did against England and they play up to their competition, I think, here's the thing about the U.S. in this tournament. So far, they have played up to their competition. They played down to Wales after they had the early goal. They played up to England, got a draw, played down to Iran, had an early goal in the first half, or at least in the second half. The thing about this U.S. team is they do not play a complete game. And even that game against England, both halves were slightly different. The U.S. were a lot more dominant in that first half. The second half, they just tried to get that draw, especially as the half went on. They can only really play 60 minutes. They haven't played a full game in this tournament. They're like, okay, we got a goal, sit back, defend it once we get past half or about the 60th minute. This U.S. team legitimately did this the hard way. Legitimately did this the hard way to get through the group and win this game. They said, okay, we have the goal, 60th minute, let's just start packing it up, stepping back, let them have the ball. And that was not smart. That was not smart. This could have easily became a repeat of the Wales game. Legitimately, it already was. The only thing that makes this not a repeat deja vu of the Wales game is Iran did not score a goal. That's the only reason why. And by the way, they could have easily given a penalty really late, the referees, at the 98th minute or the 96th minute. They could have easily given a penalty there. Luckily, they didn't. But the pull of the jersey a little bit on Taremi, the collision between Turner and Taremi, that could have easily been a penalty. And you would have been in the same exact position, except this time it would have knocked you out the World Cup had they scored. Luckily for you, there was no penalty there. I didn't see a penalty, but I'm just saying, knowing these referees, you don't know exactly what will happen on VAR. And, oh boy, luckily they did not give that penalty. They did not give it. They said, no, not a pen. Play on. Luckily for your sake, or goal kick, play on. But it's the same situation, a stupid defensive situation that could have led to something worse. Luckily, did not end into something worse. Again, this game is a very close deja vu to the Wales game. This is exactly the same performance. First half, the USA were dominant. They should have had more goals. They should have won in a runaway. They should have won in a runaway. But it was 1-0. They should have had two. They had a late offside goal by Weah in the first half. That should have been, I don't think he was offside. That should have been 2. And maybe we're not talking like this right now. But they take it away. It's offside. And the U.S. just grinds this one out. But it's the exact same performance as the Wales game. Except we didn't get scored on. Except the U.S. didn't get scored on. I say the rule. The U.S. is the last hope for CONCACAF, so we'll go with it. We'll go with it. They're the last hope for CONCACAF. But with that being said, well, no, Mexico could still get out. But maybe the last hope. Right now, as it stands, last hope. But again, the U.S. absolutely said, nah, we're just going to do it the hard way. We're just going to do it the hard way. And they did. And it was the saddest football I have ever seen. If you're dominating a team by that much in the first half, like they absolutely don't even have a sniff. At least Wales had a little bit of a sniff in the first half of their game. Iran had none. 0. Zilch. Nada. Cero. Nothing. Nil. Now, whatever you want to say is a 0, they had nothing. Nothing. And the U.S. could have easily put them to the sword in the second half. They do not. Greg Berhalter, this is on your tactics. This is on your substitutions. You absolutely basically said, you know what? I don't feel like running a team over in this game. Nah, we'll close it out. We'll sit back and just close it out. You realize how much you almost cost your team? You suck. And no, you shouldn't be the coach for 2026, Greg. You're the worst. Your substitutions suck. Your game plan sucks. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You're not a good coach. You're not a good manager. And the fact is you almost single-handedly made the U.S. get eliminated from the World Cup. Luckily for you, Iran didn't score and that penalty wasn't given. Other than that, you're a joke. You're the problem, Greg Berhalter. And luckily for you, your bad substitutions, your bad tactics didn't get exposed, and it didn't get you dumped out of the World Cup. Good for you, luckily for you. Man of the match for me, Tim Weah. He had the best offensive performance. Played well, played forward, could have had a goal, should have had a goal. Was absolutely a live wire. He's been a revelation in this tournament. I say Tim Weah, man of the match. Well, that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlists. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I shall see you tomorrow for the live watch-along at Denmark versus Australia, a live watch-along of Mexico versus Saudi Arabia, and the review of Saudi Arabia versus Mexico. I will see you then tomorrow. Should be a great day of football for the second of the last 4 days of the group stage, halfway through the last 4 of the group stage. So see you then. I'm Ryan, and I'm out. Peace.